The galaxy had lost its heart. Once the Great Alliance ruled thousands of worlds in harmony. Trade flowed like rivers through space. Peace, though fragile, had lasted longer than anyone believed possible. But peace never lasts. The Alliance fell after centuries of war. One by one, its leaders vanished, its fleets turned to dust, and its grand cities became empty shells drifting in the void. In the center of it all floated the Crown of Command, a massive structure, older than recorded time. Some said it was built by the first intelligent race to ever walk the stars. Others believed it was a living being, waiting for someone worthy. The crown wasn't gold or jewels. It was energy, pure, pulsing light shaped like a ring the size of a planet. It shimmered above the ruins of the Alliance capital, silent and cold, and every species wanted it. The Xylar Dominion, masters of plasma warfare, sent fleets to claim it. The Tharn Collective, born of living metal, declared themselves the rightful rulers of all life. The Valari Ascendancy, ancient and proud, said the crown was their birthright. Each war ended in ruin. Every fleet that reached the crown never came back. For hundreds of years, the galaxy remained leaderless. No laws, no order, no peace. And yet one species stayed far away from all of it: humans. Humanity had learned their lesson. They had seen their own world nearly destroyed by war long before they reached the stars. When Earth joined the galactic community, humans made a silent promise. Never again. They would explore. They would trade. They would heal. But they would not rule. No thrones, no crowns, no empires. To many aliens, humans were strange. They didn't crave control. They didn't fight for status. They didn't demand respect. They simply built, quietly, patiently. They sent medics to dying colonies, engineers to rebuild old stations, and teachers to worlds that had forgotten hope. In time, even the most hostile species began to trust them, but trust is fragile in a broken galaxy. Then, everything changed. It started on an ordinary day. Earth's scientists were running deep space scans of the Crown's ruins, as they had many times before. The readings were the same until they weren't. At first, it was a small flicker, a signal spike, then silence. Then came the blackout. Across the galaxy, every starship, every planet, every satellite went dark. 7 seconds. Nothing. No light, no sound, no signal. Then, all at once, everything came back. But every screen, every display, every hologram now showed the same image: a blue and white human hand holding a ring of light. Underneath it, words appeared in every known language. The throne has chosen its king. Shock spread faster than light. On the Xylar homeworld, generals shouted in disbelief. On Tharn stations, metallic voices screamed warnings. The Valari High Council collapsed into chaos. Billions of beings across the galaxy stared at the message, unable to understand how or why the crown had chosen a small, young species from a distant, fragile world. Why humans? They were not the oldest, not the strongest, not even the most advanced, and yet the message was clear. The Crown of Command, the most powerful symbol in the universe, had chosen Earth. On Earth, confusion turned to fear. Governments held emergency meetings. Religions called it a prophecy. Scientists tried to deny it. The human president addressed the world with trembling hands. "We did not ask for this," she said. "We are not kings. We are not rulers. We want peace, nothing more." But across the galaxy, no one believed her. The Xylar declared humanity a threat. The Tharn swore to melt the Flesh King before it sits upon the throne, and the Valari ordered every fleet to move toward the Sol system. The galaxy was uniting, but not to serve humanity. They were preparing to destroy it. Meanwhile, strange things began to happen. Deep in orbit, human satellites started receiving unknown data streams, encrypted signals that no one could trace. Astronomers noticed that the stars near the ruins of the crown were changing, realigning themselves into human constellations. The same symbols appeared in the dust of Mars, in ocean waves, even in dreams. A message, whispered in every human mind: you cannot refuse destiny. But humanity had never liked being told what to do. As panic spread across the stars, a single truth began to rise among humans everywhere. If the galaxy wanted to come for them, they would be ready, and the crown, whatever it was, seemed to pulse brighter. As if amused, the throne was empty no more. Panic spread across the galaxy like fire through dry grass. Every world was talking about the same thing, the message. The throne has chosen its king. The crown of command had chosen humans. No one could understand it. How could a small species from a single blue planet be chosen over ancient empires that had ruled the stars for ages? It didn't make sense, and when the galaxy doesn't understand something, it gets scared. In the halls of the Xylar Dominion, soldiers marched in silence. Their commanders, covered in glimmering red scales, watched a hologram of Earth spinning slowly. "Destroy the seed before it grows," one hissed. "The crown has been fooled. The humans must be erased." Across the stars, the Tharn Collective broadcast its own message. "The flesh species is corruption. We will burn their sun before they sit upon the throne." Even the peaceful Valari Ascendancy sent warships toward the Sol system, claiming it was for security reasons. The galaxy was preparing for war against a species that never wanted the throne in the first place. On Earth, fear filled the air. Governments held endless meetings. News channels screamed about alien fleets moving closer each day. People built shelters. Some prayed, some ran. In one quiet room under the United Earth Council, leaders from every nation sat together. No speeches, no cameras, only tired faces and heavy silence. Finally, President Aria Holt spoke. "We have to tell them the truth," she said softly. "We don't want this power. We never asked for it." A scientist beside her shook his head. "They won't listen." The signal came from the crown itself. It appeared in every language at once. "To them, it's divine law." Another general slammed his hand on the table. "So what do we do? Wait until their fleets are over our skies?" The room fell silent again. Arya looked at the hologram of the crown, glowing faintly in the darkness of space. "I don't know who or what chose us," she whispered. "But if the galaxy wants to test humanity, then they will learn something else." She looked up, her voice steady. "We never bow." Days passed. Alien fleets began forming near the edge of the solar system. Thousands of ships, every kind, metallic, organic, crystalline, gathering like predators around a wounded animal. Humanity watched from Earth, their telescopes and satellites picking up signals of war. But something strange was happening. The same signal that once blacked out the galaxy began to reappear, only this time inside human systems. Satellites received unknown code patterns. AI systems began speaking words they were never programmed to say. Messages written in glowing blue light appeared on human screens. "You cannot refuse destiny." Every time they tried to delete it, it came back. Meanwhile, in orbit above Mars, the UNSC Horizon Station detected a massive energy surge coming from the ruins of the crown. Commander Ilara Voss, a calm, brilliant officer with eyes like cold steel, stood before the main screen. "What's our reading?" she asked. "Off the charts, ma'am," replied her technician. "It's reacting to something near Earth. The crown's energy field is aligning with our planet's magnetic poles." "Aligning?" She frowned. "Like a lock finding its key." The technician swallowed hard. "Exactly, ma'am." Ilara turned toward the window. In the distance, the stars seemed to twist, forming faint patterns, circles, spirals, symbols, and deep inside her helmet's comm system, she heard it. A whisper, not in words, but in feeling. Something old, something aware. Back on Earth, President Aria Holt addressed the galaxy in a broadcast that reached every known world. She stood before the United Nations flag, her expression calm but her eyes tired. "To the species of the galaxy," she said, "we hear your fear. We see your anger, but we did not ask for this power. We do not want your throne. Humanity only wants peace." Her words were translated into hundreds of alien tongues echoing across space, but the responses came quickly, and they were filled with hate. "Lies. Deceit. No one refuses the crown. They seek to control us all." Within hours, the Xylar declared war. The Tharn sent their fleets toward Neptune. The Valari announced a holy mission to reclaim the throne. The galaxy had made its choice. Humanity's denial only made them more dangerous. Night fell across Earth. From the dark side of the planet, thousands of human ships began to rise. Old military vessels, experimental crafts, civilian transports armed with defense turrets. Humanity had faced extinction before, by their own hands. They had rebuilt from fire, from ashes, from fear, and now they would do it again. In the quiet of space, Commander Alara Voss sent her first transmission to all human forces. "We didn't ask for this fight. But if they want to bring war to our home, then we will show them what humans do best. Survive!" Her words echoed through every ship, every base, every colony. For the first time, the galaxy was united. But not under the crown, under fear of humanity, and far away beyond the stars. The crown pulsed once more, its light spreading like ripples through the void. It was watching, waiting, as if testing whether the ones who refused power were truly worthy to hold it. Days turned into nights, and nights into restless silence. The solar system was surrounded. Hundreds of alien fleets hovered at its edge, their ships glowing like cold suns. They waited for orders to strike. But something else was happening, something no one could explain. Across Earth and every human colony, people began to hear whispers. At first, they thought it was just noise, radio interference, echoes from the alien fleets. But soon, the whispers became voices, not words. Not exactly. More like thoughts. Images. Symbols of light appearing in dreams, sketches, or reflections. Children drew strange circles they had never seen before. Pilots saw unknown constellations in their nav screens. And deep in the command center of Horizon Station, Commander Alara Voss started hearing it too. She stood alone in the observation deck, staring at the stars. They looked calm, peaceful, unaware that a war was about to begin. Then, Alara. The sound wasn't through her comms. It wasn't even a sound. It was inside her mind. She froze, gripping the railing. "Who's there?" she whispered. "I am the crown." Her breath caught. She looked around, but the deck was empty. "You cannot run from what you were born to become," the voice said. Alara's pulse quickened. "I'm not born to be anything," she said softly. "I'm a soldier, nothing more." "You are a bridge," the voice replied. "Between choice and destiny, between silence and command." Alara shook her head. "No, humanity doesn't want your throne. We never asked for it." The voice paused. Then it spoke again, calm and patient. "That is why you were chosen." The next morning, Alara reported everything to Earth's leadership. In a private meeting with President Aria Holt and the top scientists, she told them about the voice, the visions, the symbols. No one spoke for several seconds. Then Dr. Mendez, the lead xenotechnologist, leaned forward. "Commander, we've been getting similar reports," he said. "People all over the planet, pilots, engineers, even children are hearing the same thing. The same symbols, the same energy pattern. It's spreading. How far?" Alara asked. "All human colonies within communication range. It's like the crown is linking minds together." President Holt looked troubled. "So this isn't just a signal. It's trying to connect to us?" Dr. Mendez nodded slowly. "Yes, and it's selective. It's only choosing humans." The room fell silent again. Far above them, alien fleets continued to move. The Xylar were positioning their plasma cannons near Neptune. The Tharn Collective began jamming Earth's communication networks. The Valari were sending diplomatic messages, offering mercy in exchange for surrender. But humanity wasn't surrendering. Not yet. The whispers were growing stronger, and some humans began to understand them. On a small mining colony near Jupiter's moon Callisto, a worker named Jonas Reed woke up in the middle of the night. He saw lights moving across the walls of his quarters, lines forming a map of the solar system. Then he heard it. "The throne seeks balance. Chaos must be crowned." He didn't understand it, but when he touched the glowing light, it entered his skin. For a moment he saw everything, the crown, the wars, the galaxies beyond. When he opened his eyes, he was whispering words he didn't know. Within hours, Horizon Station detected a massive energy pulse from Callisto, the same energy pattern as the Crown. Elara listened to the report in disbelief. How can it reach that far? There's no direct transmission path. Dr. Mendez stared at his monitor. It's not traveling through space. It's traveling through minds. He turned to her, eyes wide. It's using humans as the network. Elara didn't answer. She looked again at the stars, and for a moment they seemed to pulse in rhythm with her heartbeat. That night, the voice returned. You fight me, yet you speak with my tongue. What do you want from us? Elara asked aloud. I want you to live. I want you to lead. The galaxy needs a hand to guide it, not to rule it. You understand that? We don't want power. Exactly. Those who refuse power are the only ones who deserve it. The voice grew softer, almost like a whisper of wind through metal. The galaxy is afraid. They have forgotten balance. They kneel to control, not to reason. You will remind them what it means to stand. Elara closed her eyes. I'm not a leader, she said quietly. No one ever is. Until they must be. At dawn, Elara gathered her officers. We can't stop what's happening, she said. The Crown has chosen humanity. Whether we want it or not, it's reaching into every mind, trying to show us something. Her second-in-command frowned. Then what do we do, ma'am? Elara looked out the viewport, where distant alien fleets glowed like a storm on the horizon. We find out why. As she spoke, the Crown pulsed again, this time so bright that its energy ripple could be seen from every telescope in the galaxy. The message followed, carved into every ship's system, every alien world. Every human screen, the chosen mind awakes. Panic spread again through alien ranks. Commanders ordered fleets to advance. They believed humanity had activated the Crown, and that meant war. But inside Horizon Station, Elara Voss wasn't afraid anymore. She felt the voice inside her clear and steady, and somewhere deep within her heart, a new truth began to form. The Crown wasn't forcing humanity to rule. It was inviting them to save what was left. And as the alien armadas moved toward Earth, Elara whispered the words she didn't fully understand, words the Crown had planted in her soul. We didn't choose the throne. But maybe the throne chose right. The galaxy had waited long enough. For weeks, alien fleets had gathered at the edge of the solar system, watching Earth like hunters circling their prey. Now they were ready. The Xylar Dominion sent the first transmission. Humanity is infected by the Crown. Purge the species before the infection spreads. Moments later, thousands of plasma signatures appeared on radar. The invasion had begun. On Horizon Station, alarms screamed through the corridors. Commander Elara Voss stood in the command center, her hand steady even as chaos erupted around her. Report, she shouted. Multiple fleets incoming from the Outer Rim, Xylar and Tharn confirmed. They've crossed Neptune's orbit. How many ships? Thousands, Commander. Maybe tens of thousands. The technician's voice cracked, but Elara didn't flinch. She turned to the holomap, a swirling storm of red dots closing in on the blue glow of Earth. Activate all defense networks, she ordered. Pull every colony into blackout protocol, and prepare the fleets. The United Earth Defense Command scrambled into action. Hundreds of ships launched from the Moon and Mars colonies, old war cruisers, retrofitted mining vessels, even cargo freighters turned into makeshift gunships. Humanity had no empire. No grand armada, but they had something the galaxy didn't expect. Unity. No single ruler. No chain of command. Just one shared goal, survival. In the darkness of space, the first shots were fired. Blinding plasma beams streaked across the void, burning through debris fields and defense satellites. Xylar destroyers cut through human lines like knives through water. But humans didn't fight like other species. They adapted. While alien fleets moved in straight lines, predictable. Perfect formations, human pilots scattered. They hid behind moons, used broken ship hulks as shields, and lured the enemy into gravity traps. Every loss was a lesson. Every death gave birth to a new strategy. Within hours, the alien advance slowed. In the command room, Elara studied the data streaming across her screen. Focus on their formation gaps, she said. Hit the supply cruisers, not the warships. Her second-in-command, Lieutenant Ramos, frowned. They'll still have thousands of ships left. Ilara looked up at him. Then we make them afraid. Far below, on the surface of Mars, human engineers activated a secret project, Project Echo, a system of hidden satellites designed to project false signals and ghost fleets. Within minutes, hundreds of fake human ships appeared across enemy sensors. The aliens panicked. The Xylar opened fire on empty space. The Tharn fleets turned their weapons on each other, confused by the illusions. Beautiful, Ramos whispered as he watched the chaos unfold. Ilara allowed herself a small smile. Never underestimate human creativity, but victory came at a price. On the edge of the system, several human colonies went silent. The aliens had bypassed defenses and wiped out everything in their path. Thousands were gone. Ilara's heart tightened as the casualty reports came in. She wanted to scream. But the voice, the same calm voice from the crown, returned inside her mind. Pain is the cost of creation. Loss is the fire that shapes kings. She clenched her fists. We're not kings, she whispered. You will be, or all will fall. At the same time, a strange event was detected on the battlefield. A human ship, the Vanguard 9, was destroyed in combat. But seconds after its explosion, a shockwave of blue energy burst from the wreckage, disabling every alien ship within range. Scientists on Horizon Station couldn't explain it. The Crown's energy signature had somehow linked to the human vessel, turning its destruction into a weapon. Dr. Mendez stared at the data in awe. It's adapting to our emotions, he said. Every act of courage, every sacrifice, it responds to it. Ilara turned toward him. Are you saying the Crown fights with us? He hesitated. I'm saying it feels us. As the battle raged on, alien communications began to fill with fear. Their fleets were falling apart. Their systems were breaking under human cyber attacks. The Tharn Collective tried to retreat, but their jump drives failed. The Xylar Dominion lost command ships to precision strikes from what they thought were primitive fighters. And through the chaos, one clear human transmission echoed across the stars. You wanted to stop us from taking the throne, Ilara's voice said, calm and sharp. But we never wanted your throne. We only wanted peace. You brought war to our home. Now you'll learn what humans do when we're cornered. Her message spread through every open channel. For the first time in centuries, alien warlords felt something they didn't know they could feel: fear. After 16 long hours of battle, the first wave ended. Thousands of alien ships burned in the void. The rest retreated, their formations shattered. Earth had survived, but barely. Human ships floated as wrecks. Entire crews were lost. And in the silence that followed, every human soldier knew this was only the beginning. Ilara stood at the observation deck once more. The stars were quiet again, but her heart wasn't. The Crown's voice returned, softer now, almost gentle. You fight not to rule, but to protect. That is why I chose you. She closed her eyes. We're not your kings. Then be my guardians, the voice whispered. The galaxy will soon need them. The battle was over. The sky above Earth was calm again, filled with drifting wreckage and silent stars. But for Commander Ilara Voss, peace was only an illusion. She stood inside Horizon Station's command deck, staring at the endless darkness beyond the glass. Thousands of lives were lost, and yet humanity had survived. The galaxy had thrown everything at them, and still failed. But there was a deeper truth waiting in the silence. The Crown was not done. For days, Ilara could feel it inside her mind, like a whisper just beyond hearing. When she closed her eyes, she saw flashes of light, strange worlds, and symbols older than any language. It was trying to show her something. Finally, she made a decision. I'm leaving, she told her officers. Lieutenant Ramos looked stunned. Leaving? Commander, we just survived an invasion. Ilara's gaze was steady. I need to find out what the Crown really is. It's not just a weapon. It's alive. Dr. Mendez nodded slowly. You've been hearing it, haven't you? The voice. Ilara didn't answer. She didn't have to. 3 days later, a small exploration ship, the Odyssey, left Earth's orbit under stealth. Only 5 people were on board. Their destination, an uncharted star system recently discovered in the Crown's energy readings. The journey took them through silent regions of space, past forgotten stations, abandoned colonies, and the broken remains of alien warships. Everywhere they went, they saw evidence of the Crown's reach. On one frozen world, they found ruins. Massive stone structures half buried in ice, carved with the same symbol that had appeared on every galactic screen, the human symbol. Ramos stared at the carvings in disbelief. These ruins are millions of years old. How could they show us? Ilara touched the markings gently. The Crown didn't choose humanity, she whispered. It remembered us. At the heart of the ruins, they found a deep chamber, circular, glowing faintly with blue light. The walls were covered in ancient runes. In the center stood a single black crystal, suspended in midair. As Ilara stepped closer, the whispers became voices. Thousands of them, echoes of the past. She reached out her hand. The moment her fingers brushed the crystal, her world vanished. Ilara found herself standing in a sea of light. There was no up or down, only an endless horizon of glowing blue energy. Shapes moved within the light. Tall, luminous figures that spoke without sound. One of them stepped forward. Its form was shifting, neither male nor female, but somehow familiar. "You are the first to hear us clearly," it said. "You are the echo of what we once were." Ilara took a breath. "Who are you?" "We are the architects," the being replied. "Creators of the crown, guardians of the throne. The throne chose Earth," she said. "Why? We didn't want it." The being's light flickered as if remembering. "Because you are the last of us," it said softly. "When the galaxies burned, when the Great War consumed everything, we scattered our essence across time. The crown was our seed, waiting for the right hands to find it again." Ilara's eyes widened. "So the crown isn't power, it's a memory," the being nodded. "A living memory. It binds courage, empathy, and sacrifice, the qualities that built civilizations and destroyed them." The light around her shifted, showing visions of the past, entire worlds consumed by war, species turning on each other for control of the throne. "The crown has no master," the being continued. "It responds to the strongest unity of purpose, and now it has found it in your kind." Ilara frowned. "But we don't want to rule anyone. That is why you were chosen," the voice said gently. "Rulers crave power. Protectors fear it. Only those who reject the throne can truly hold it." Suddenly, the vision trembled. The light around Ilara flickered violently. A dark presence appeared, a shadow tearing through the sea of light like a storm. The being turned sharply. "It's too soon. The others have found us." "What others?" Ilara shouted. "The fallen, the ones who once wore the crown and tried to keep it for themselves. They live still, and they come to claim it back." The crystal cracked. The world of light began to collapse. "Ilara Voss," the being said urgently, its form breaking apart. "Return to your world. The galaxy will burn again, but you can stop it. The throne is not yours to rule. It is yours to protect." The light exploded. Ilara woke up on the floor of the chamber. Her crew surrounded her, terrified. "Commander!" "The whole planet just started shaking," Ramos yelled. Ilara stood up slowly. The black crystal was gone, melted into dust, but something new glowed faintly on her wrist. A mark, the same symbol of the crown. She looked up toward the sky. "I know what it wants now," she whispered. "And I know what's coming." As they left the planet, a new signal appeared across the galactic network. Every species received it at the same time. It wasn't from Earth, it wasn't from the crown, it was from them, the fallen. "The pretenders have awakened the crown. The throne will rise again. Prepare for war." The galaxy was silent. The war was over. But not in the way anyone expected. The fallen had vanished, defeated, but not destroyed. Their massive fleets, once darkening entire star systems, were gone like shadows in the dawn. And yet the universe itself felt different. Every planet, every mind could feel a strange pulse in the air. A heartbeat that was not their own. It was the crown, but this time it was not calling to a throne. It was calling to her, Commander Ilara Voss. On the ruins of an alien citadel above the shattered world of Karen 6, Ilara stood alone. Her armor was scorched, her ship gone, her crew scattered. Around her, fragments of the ancient throne floated in zero gravity, massive stone rings glowing with a faint golden light. The galaxy's remaining leaders had come, Xylar, Tharn, Valari, and more, each arriving in damaged ships. They no longer came as rulers or conquerors. They came as survivors. Admiral Threx of the Xylar looked at Ilara through the glowing mist. "You were chosen," he said coldly. "Take the crown. End this chaos." Ilara shook her head slowly. "I wasn't chosen to rule," she said. "I was chosen to remember." A deep hum filled the air. The fragments of the throne began to move, orbiting Ilara like planets around a star. Energy rippled through her body, memories, emotions, voices. She saw the architects again, the ancient beings who built the crown. Their words echoed in her mind. Only those who reject power can truly wield it. Her hands glowed. The mark on her wrist, once dim, now blazed like a sun. Every alien leader stepped back, fear mixing with awe. The throne was rebuilding itself, piece by piece, as if drawn by her very soul. On every world, the same vision appeared in the sky. Billions of beings looked up and saw a human standing before the galaxy's ancient seat of power. A single human surrounded by the remnants of 1,000 empires. And then her voice echoed through the stars, not through machines, not through networks, through the crown itself. "I am Ilara Voss of Earth," she said, her voice calm but strong. "I speak for no empire. I command no army. I hold no throne." Her words reached across light years, to the miners on distant moons, to the children of alien worlds, to the broken fleets still drifting in the void. "The crown is not a prize," she continued. "It's a lesson. The architects gave it to those who could protect, not possess. Every empire that tried to own it fell." A murmur of voices spread among the leaders. The Tharn general hissed, "Without a ruler, there will be chaos." Ilara turned to him. "Then let there be chaos. Until we learn peace." The light from the throne grew brighter. The floating fragments began to dissolve, turning into energy streams that spread in every direction. One by one, they shot across the sky like shooting stars, vanishing into hyperspace. The alien leaders gasped. "What are you doing?" The Xylar admiral shouted. "I'm ending it," Ilara said. "No one will sit on this throne again. Not human, not alien, not anyone." But something unexpected happened. As the energy spread, it didn't disappear. It flowed into people. Across the galaxy, individuals of every species felt warmth in their hearts. The crown's light entered them, binding them with understanding, showing them fragments of each other's memories, hopes, and fears. In a single moment, the galaxy shared one truth. They were all connected. The crown was never a weapon. It was a bridge. Ilara's body began to fade into the light. Her voice echoed once more. "You wanted a king?" she said softly. "Then remember this. Humanity never wanted the throne. But when it came for us, we learned to share it." The final beam of light left her chest, rising into the dark sky. Then she was gone. Only the mark of the crown remained, glowing faintly on the stone floor. Years passed. The galaxy slowly rebuilt. Former enemies became partners. Trade routes opened, peace treaties were signed, and the name Ilara Voss became legend. Children across worlds would whisper her story, the woman who refused power but united the stars. On Earth, a small monument stood in the ruins of Horizon Station. It bore only a single line, carved in a language every species could read. She refused the crown and became its light. And sometimes, on quiet nights, pilots in deep space would see a faint golden shimmer drifting among the stars, a gentle pulse, a reminder that the throne still watches, not as a ruler, but as a guardian, carried by the hearts of those who remember her, centuries past. Worlds that once burned with war now shined with peace. The galaxy had changed, slowly, painfully, beautifully. but the legend of the crown of command. And the name Ilara Voss never faded. In the heart of the Orion cluster, the United Systems Council gathered. It was no longer a meeting of empires or conquerors. Now it was a circle, equal seats, equal voices. Humanity had no throne, but their influence could be felt in every word, every treaty, every alliance. A young alien historian named Tyr Val looked up from his holographic display and said quietly, "My mentor once told me, the humans were never meant to lead us." Another smiled. "Then how did they end up saving us all?" The historian chuckled softly. "They didn't lead us. They showed us what leadership really means." Across the galaxy, signs of this new age were everywhere. On the desert world of Tharn, massive energy fields once used for war now powered entire cities. Children, human and alien alike, studied side by side under the same light. Old battlefields had become gardens, glowing with strange alien flowers, and on a small blue planet orbiting Sol. Earth had changed too. No longer hidden or fearful, it was now the meeting place of all species. The stars that once watched humanity with suspicion now called it home. But peace did not mean perfection. There were still pirates, old warlords, and lost worlds. Yet every time a new threat rose, something mysterious happened. Ships would report a strange golden light appearing beside them, just for a moment. A voice would echo in their minds, calm and steady. Sometimes it warned them. Sometimes it guided them. Sometimes it simply said, "Remember who you are," and then the light would fade. Many called it myth. But those who saw it swore they had seen a woman in the glow, her face calm, her eyes bright with stars. Her name whispered through static, Ilara. On the anniversary of the Crown's awakening, the United Systems held a ceremony on Earth. The night sky above the old Horizon station shimmered with artificial constellations. Billions watched across every world as the Council's speaker stepped forward. He was human, but his voice carried the echoes of 100 languages. "Long ago," he began, "our ancestors sought to control the galaxy. They fought for power, for crowns, for thrones." He paused, glancing toward the glowing monument before him. "But one woman refused the throne, and because she refused, she united us all." He raised a crystal sphere toward the sky. Inside it, golden energy pulsed gently, the last fragment of the crown's light. "This," he said, "is not a relic of control. It's a memory of unity, a reminder that true kingship comes from choice, not command." The crowd bowed their heads, and at that moment, the sky erupted in gold. Every star in the galaxy flickered, just once. Not from engines, not from machines, but from something alive. The same pulse of energy that once destroyed fleets now moved softly, linking every world for one heartbeat. It was as if the crown itself smiled. In that single moment, everyone, human, alien, machine, felt it. The warmth, the connection, the quiet message that drifted across the void. The galaxy is not ruled. It is shared. High above Earth, in the orbit where Horizon Station once floated, a new ship drifted quietly. Its hull bore no weapons, no flags, only one symbol, a glowing mark in gold, the same that once appeared on Ilara's wrist. Inside the ship, a young human captain stood before the stars. Her name was Lena Voss, Ilara's great-granddaughter. She looked at the silent void and smiled faintly. "Grandmother," she whispered, "if you're still out there, we're doing okay." For a moment, the stars shimmered. And then, in the darkness beyond, a faint golden figure appeared, just long enough for Lena to see a familiar face smiling back. Then it vanished, leaving only the soft hum of the ship's engines. The captain turned to her crew. "Set course for the edge of the spiral," she said. "The galaxy isn't finished yet. There are still stories to find." Her ship glided forward, leaving a trail of gold behind it, like starlight in motion, and somewhere, beyond the reach of time and light, the crown's voice whispered once more. They refused the throne, but in doing so they became the heartbeat of the stars.